Okay, it is the 25th of March, and I thought I would do my spring walk around the yard. Spring has sprung. Very warm today here in Clovis. Lazy old hound. Oh, Fergus. Poppies are blooming. Flowers are blooming. Trees are blooming. Boomers chasing lizards. So I've put in some seeds and some plants. And of course, we already had quite a bit from last year. That actually is a pepper plant from last year. So I just let it go. It looks like it might come back. That's some dill there. I don't know where that came from. But I let it grow. It looked like dill, so I let it grow, and it turned out it is dill. So we got our potatoes and last year's onions left over. I just cut them off just above the ground level, and they just keep growing. So I always have green onions. This is garlic, planted end of last year, and it says it takes over a year to make bulbs. So we probably won't be able to pick, maybe at the end of the year. Tripped. Potatoes coming up. This is where I had potatoes last year. I also put in zucchini just the other day. It hasn't sprouted yet, so I got 5 zucchini plants there. Oh, and sugar snap peas I put in. I love sugar snap peas. I put in the back against the wire there to grow up on the wire to vine out. Here we have sugar snap peas planted. Haven't sprouted yet, just like I said, just planted them. And yellow squash in the center. Probably overplanted again, too close together. Some more of last year's onions that I just let them be. So the sugar snap peas will grow up these hog wire. Here on this garden, I put in cucumbers instead of sugar snap peas on this one that'll trellis up. And those are regular slicing cucumbers. Strawberries, they just went crazy this year. I have no idea what is getting I think it's snails. Because I put stuff to kill mites and bugs, but in fact I'm positive it's snails because I see the slime shining. So I got to put some slug killer, snail killer. They hide down in behind in these crevices. You don't find them. Sneaky rascals. Okay, in the greenhouse, still got some potatoes I got to plant. So that's different lettuce. Got some beets that I dropped and they grew, and some sugar snap peas, actually making sugar snap peas. Some broccoli. Planted some tomatoes, got lettuce of course. Planted some tomatoes and jalapeno peppers in here. I left those in here. The heat should pop them out a little quicker maybe. It's supposed to cool off again next week. So I'm going to leave those in the greenhouse for now. Onions, I planted seeds and they came up. This would be the new crop of onions. Green onions. I just buried some old tomatoes. This is where tomatoes were last year, and they've came up since then. The potatoes I planted in here, look how pretty they are. The plants, they're going crazy. They'll put out white flowers here in another few days or whatever. Now these haven't been gotten to by the snails. Got some beets in there. I got to continue with beets. These are volunteer tomatoes from last year. These are some that Julie bought, different varieties. Looks like Big Boy, Roma, some other stuff, some blackberries, vines that she planted over here, and they jumped into here and they just keep growing, kind of like weeds. You can see them on my grape trellises, the blackberries coming up. Yellow squash in here. I'm not sure what that herb is. Big old onion from last year. I'm letting it seed out, and I'll shake it out, just kind of an experiment, see what happens. More tomatoes, another pepper plant from last year. The rabbits have been hitting me pretty hard. They got my, I don't remember if that's broccoli or cabbage. Yeah, I don't know. Some more beets. I gotta replant more beets. Can't remember if I planted more beets in here or not. It seems like I did, but I didn't put a sign on them, so I don't know. More onions. These are actually from last year. I pulled out the big giant ones, and these were kind of like little stragglers that were getting choked out, so they're growing like they're new. The broccoli, it didn't do much. Made little tiny heads. It's good. In fact, I'll pick some here in a bit, and some green onions, and make my eggs and vegetables, and then I'll chop up some cabbage leaves for my lunch with, the, like I said, eggs and broccoli and green onions. So pepper plants. These are sweet peppers that she bought. I put in seeds, and then she bought a bunch of those, so we'll see what happens. Celebrity tomato. Not sure what that other one is. This is a new eggplant she bought. That is one that's 2 years old now, and it made eggplants again last year. This one's not looking healthy. This are potatoes. That's a weed. These are potatoes, and they're getting ate up, and I swear that looks like lettuce or spinach. I don't know. I'm gonna let it grow, see what it does. These are cabbages, and so far none of my cabbages have made a head. They've just leafed out. They're good, but they're just making leaves, not a head. Not a cabbage head. There's also cauliflower in here, and I think that's broccoli. The rabbits kind of just devoured my cauliflower. Strawberries, we put those things in last year, and man, they just took off everywhere. So I've been digging up the runners that they make and then moving them around different places. That's way overgrown with strawberries. These are last year's pepper plants, and they're sprouting again. I trimmed them way back. That's eggplant is a year old, maybe 2 years old. I just harvested a bunch of lettuce yesterday. This is lettuce. Look how pretty that is. Lettuce and spinach. And something else is in here. Oh, these are asparagus that I just planted. She bought some asparagus, so we'll see what it does. Now the corn will be in these on the ground, and I haven't planted it yet. I was going to plant it this week, but if it's cool next week, we're still in March, so I don't want to plant it too early, because then it starts and then it gets cold. It just kind of kills it. Cucumbers, Armenian cucumbers. These are last year's pepper plants that are coming back. There's some beets, sugar snap peas, all through here. Now these I planted quite a while ago, but the rabbits just destroyed them. So I put up this bird netting around it, and now they're starting to come back. So they should be okay now with this netting around it. Oops, put netting around some of the stuff, not all of it. But anyway, that's the garden. We shall continue. So I got my birds watching. My scarecrow birds. There's my scarecrow man. My Wizard of Oz interpretation man, garden man. Those are all peppers that I hung up last year, and they kind of shriveled and shrunk and rotted. There's my Templar Knights that I made. I keep hearing that. I thought that was birds. That's my that's my hearing aids squelching. I wonder why that bird kept following me around. Okay, mystery solved. So anyway, yeah, the fire pit, the dragon, my Templar Knights that I made, and my dragon that I made. There's some okra from last year I never pulled out. Some sort of a tree that came up, and I put a stick by it and let it live. There's a little peach tree that I bought. It may have damaged that peach tree because this area flooded real heavy. So we'll see if he comes out or not. Anyway, that's the garden tour. We shall move on. In the background, you can see the burnt up shop. Be about 3.5 months before the contractor can get out and tear down that one and rebuild the new shop on the same slab. Got the plans yesterday from the designer to take to the county for the permit. So that's cool. This planter here, lots of flowers, cacti. That's a wild boar head, skeleton, pile of dog poop that I missed. Climbing roses, a lot of blackberries along that fence. She had me dig out, there was a fig tree and some other annoying thing there. Dug all that out with the mini, and then she's going to plant, already planted something in there. Not sure what. Fort Sean, the grandson Sean, he's 11 now. Be 12 this year. Little rascal. Arbors that have made, another robot. Flowers are blooming. These have bloomed and are first bloom is kind of dying off. I don't know what those are called, daffodils or something. Julie decorated my pigs up for St. Patrick's Day that's come and gone. I think these are called irises. You can leave a like in the comment and the name of them if you know it. Propane fire pit, 55-gallon drum, cheers. Boomer's hot on the tail of a lizard. These are some lizard killing dogs here. Poor lizards, they don't stand a chance. Got a bird up in the tree and a bird on the ground. That one's tail fell off, looks like. I'll have to fix that. Got flowers and poppies and whatnots here. Olive tree was loaded. I didn't pick any olives. Kind of should have. Those are really pretty, those purple flowers, and the same kind of flower over there that's white, whatever it's called. Olive tree. That guy did a good job shaping it last year. Avocado tree that Art, Julie's brother, brought over. Another one that Art brought over. A bench full of pots. Climbing rose. This was a fruit tree. I forgot what it is. I think it's a plum. Nah, not a plum. Whatever it is, it lost its tag. I'll know when it makes fruit. That's my avocado tree that's been in the ground for, I'm going to say 8 years now. Hasn't made an avocado yet. It flowers like this every year. Maybe this is the year it will actually make avocados. Either way, I'm not taking it out. I'm gonna stick it out. What is it, Fergo? Fergus is looking for lizards. Look at those poppies, man. Sure are pretty. It's funny, these dogs used to play with this red ball. They loved that red ball. Then Yondu, when my dad broke his hip, was here for a couple months, and he took over that ball, and now they don't play with it much anymore, hardly at all. Yondu enjoyed the heck out of it. Okay, there's an apricot tree that some year puts out apricots, some year doesn't. Very annoying. A couple peach trees back there. 2 different varieties. They're getting pretty old. Pretty haggard looking. Artichokes here, artichokes there. More of that same flower in multiple colors in the yard. Of course, the crepe myrtles are starting to bloom. This one seems to be blooming better than the other ones. The old Oliver tractor ends up being a yard decoration now. There's Fergus under there sniffing out a... What are you doing, Fergus? Huh? Fergus, what are you doing? You finding lizards? Oh my goodness sakes. What is it? Or you might be crazy. My milk cow. She don't put out much milk. The Minnie. My aerial lift. Almost had to laugh about that aerial lift. I pruned down these eucalyptus trees real nice and hedged them. Then pruned those. And then I'll walk over here and show you before I continue on. So it was raining and muddy, so I couldn't get to those 2 or 3 right there. But beyond those, I came in from the other direction and I got the rest of those and got these, of course. And I was up on this thing and pruned them all the way down about that height. And then when I parked it and got off, I thought, well, good Lord, that's head height. I could have done that from the ground. I didn't need to be on this noisy machine. But it's funny when you get up there, you don't, you're not looking down at the ground. You're looking at what you're doing. And anyway, I ended up with them ground height and didn't even realize it. That dang cough for close to 40 years. How annoying. Pretty sure those are zinnias. Feel free to comment on the flower, not the cough. Look how pretty those flowers are. Nice color. These vines, whatever they are funny. They're like 50% of them have bloomed out and the other half haven't yet. Nature. Who can figure that? Look at those pretty flowers. Eucalyptus tree. How nice. Nice and peaceful and serene. Strange word, that, serene. I just seen something out of the corner of my eye moving there. It's probably a lizard. We lost a lot of pots because them goofy dogs got in there trying to get lizards and just knocked everything off the shelf. Not going to make Julie very happy. Oh, the pond. Look at this pond. How beautiful. How peaceful. Oh, something big moving right there. That's usually where the bass come in here. Bunch of mosquito fish. That's probably what they're after, those minnows. Haven't seen any of the crawdads yet this year. I'm curious how many shrimp made it. I got a bunch of those little white freshwater shrimp out in south of Corcoran area in those canals. Got a bunch of them last year and put in here to feed the fish and add another species to my pond. So the fruit trees are looking good. Peach tree, persimmon that Dora gave me, put out giant persimmons. Not very many, but they were big. Almond tree over there. Peach trees, apricots, limes. Yeah, limes and lemons way up there in the distance. Catfish have been eaten. I feed them catfish food, floating catfish food that maybe 10% of it floats, the rest of it sinks to the bottom. When it gets old, it seems to lose its buoyancy for some reason. I like it when it floats because then the catfish come to the surface and I can see them. Otherwise, they stay down underwater and I don't never see them. I just see the excuse my camera jumping around here. I'm trying to get some catfish food out. So I throw it in here. The catfish don't come in to this shallow area, but the mosquito fish, minnows, they do. So it's a good safe place for them, and they get plenty of nutrients or food, whatever. Sometimes I can sneak up on them bass, but they're pretty weary. I'll throw some of that out there. If they don't eat it, I don't know that the bass will eat it, but the mosquito fish will eat it. So we're on the little center island. Now, if you watch, you'll see, probably won't see a catfish because they'll stay down this goofy food sinks, but usually when I start throwing this out here, you can see the tules start jerking and jumping from the catfish swimming underneath. I usually feed them in the evening, so I may not get much response this early in the day. So we'll see. Maybe I will. Either way, enjoy the scenery. That's spitting fish. He keeps the aeration in the pond for a couple, 2-3 hours a day. Keep everything healthy. So yeah, may not see any catfish action. Maybe there's cat napping. And lazy catfish. I don't know if you can see into the water. I can see the bottom, which doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I can see the bottom. I can see that catfish food down there on the bottom. Oh, there's a... You probably can't see him, but there's a bass right there. There's more than one bass right there. Interesting. You probably couldn't see him, but I saw him. So they probably just came over when they heard that, see what that splashing was. Usually this whole area just like comes alive with the catfish coming in, and they're just knocking those tules all over the place because they're swimming down in the bottom, searching out that food. So there's something right there, and I seen a fin, but I could, oh, there he is. All right, so I see him. He is a catfish, but he's on the bottom. And that's probably not good photography. Because you can't see him, I can. He's just plowing the bottom there looking for that food that's fallen down. Ooh, something went shooting by, a small fish. Probably a bluegill. Catfish do love bluegill. Okay. Serenity, serenity. Another repair job apparently I need to be working on that flamenco. Look how big these cacti are getting with the prickly pears and the Nepalis growing on them. Chickens are out here on Sheldon's side of the enclosure. One of our oldest hens, an old yeller one, kicked the bucket yesterday. Or I found her yesterday anyway. She was pretty old. Had a long life, good life. Old yeller there, he's them big long spurs. He's getting pretty old too. This one looks just like him. That's one of his offsprings and the old yeller hen that died. He's one of old yeller's offspring. Looks just like him. There's one of the new roosters that wasn't supposed to be a rooster. Pretty rascal. Reminds me of my baby Red. Poor Red, he just, since he got blinded, he just, for that one eye, he just stays in his coop. He doesn't come out hardly at all. There's old Shelly, she's out. I was supplementing her feed with alfalfa hay, but now the grass is finally starting to pop up, so that's good. Got to pick the rest of them oranges. Haven't done that yet. Into the chicken pen and tortoise enclosure. Shelly snuck some eggs in the other day, and I haven't. I seen her digging. She was getting pretty deep, and then I don't know. I went somewhere. When I came back home, you can tell when she's actually laid eggs because she filled that hole back in and smoothed it off. So we'll see. We haven't incubated them in a couple years. Oh, the bees are working good. I don't have any bees anymore, but the bees are working the cherry trees. Nice. Look how pretty the leaves are on my young persimmon tree. That tree's never grown much. I don't know why. But it puts out a lot of persimmons. They're small, but they're tasty. Pomegranates. Okay, Yeller, I hear you. Where's my Red baby? Where's Red? Let me get you some grain, Red. There's old Red. Look at the spurs on that dude, man. He got some flackers on him. Oh, looks like they're low on food, so I'm gonna have to dish them out some food. Oh yeah, they're practically out of food. Then I am remiss in my duties. Not to worry, I supplement them. Come on, Red. Oh, there you go. Hit you right in the head with that stuff. Come on, Red baby. Come on, Red. He still loves me. He just don't want to come out and sit in the chair anymore. And he can't see out that one eye. So he's kind of unsteady. He still loves attention though. Always has. My favorite chicken. Always let the kids pet him. In fact, he insisted on being petted. He's never been mean to anybody. Why that old one bad rooster was mean to him and put his eye out, cost that rooster his life. You don't mess with my baby. No. Okay, I'm putting that down and I'm gonna pet you. You like your gullet petted. Okay, I'll put some more grain out here. Put some more grain out here. Then I'm gonna come back and feed these chickens after a while. So the water for the tortoises, we keep these minnows in there, and they keep the mosquitoes. It's amazing how fast those things multiply. They never die off. They never die off. They just keep getting more and more of them in there. So that is the chicken and the tortoise pen. Well, maybe we should, where'd she go? I'm gonna say we should say hi to Shelly. So she's got her a nice hunk of cactus. And she's coming to see, ouch, what I got. But I got nothing, Shelly, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got nothing. You're okay. You're okay. Yes. You're not gonna bite my fingers, are you? Yeah, you're a good girl. I'll pick some weeds for you here in a bit and give you something. Give you a snack when I'm through with my tour. I wonder, these things need to come off anyway. I don't know if she'll like these things or not, but we'll see. Maybe she'll like these young pear tree leaves. You want these young pear tree leaves? She'll sniff them. She's not having a whole lot of luck biting them. Missing them more than she's biting them. She'll get them now, they're on the ground. And then she'll taste them. And maybe she does like those pear tree leaves. Oops. Do you mind being filmed? Or does it bother you? Maybe I don't have your good side. Okay, yeah, she really likes those. The grass is so short. I'll pick some more of them leaves off of there. Young and tender shoots that don't want on there anyway, not down that low. So I'll throw her some more. I don't see Sheldon. Wow, she's already almost ate all those. When I throw the alfalfa, these chickens, they run over there and they start kicking it around, spreading it all over the place, and she don't get that much. Okay, into the backyard once again. I harvested all my beets from last year the other day, skinned them and cooked them on the big burner there, and Julie put them away so we can have beets for salad and whatnot. Yeah, backyard's looking good. Chinese elm's just barely starting to put out stuff. Backyard's looking good. All the succulents. I just mowed and edged and raked this morning, so it's all nice and pretty, groomed up. Anywho, that will conclude the garden tour. I'm gonna go pick some veggies to make with my eggs for my lunch. Bye bye.